Greetings and welcome to this week's edition of One Big Thing. Kurt Goulding here, and today's One Big Thing is planting season. Yep, planting season is here, and the farmers are in the fields. This week should be a really good start of getting the planting going. Now, we're only 5% planted now, but here's the key thing, is that the soil temperatures, they're running in the 50s Fahrenheit all the way to the Canadian border. So that tells us, hey, all we got to do is get rid of the snow in the northern plains and we're rocking and rolling. So the northern plains, they've got some snow cover, but it is melting, and it's melting rapidly. The real worry, though, is that the Red River that runs right along the border between Minnesota and North Dakota, that area can really flood bad. It's not a deep valley, it overflows, the river can get miles wide. And so we've got to watch that to see how fast it melts and how it drains off. But look, that country doesn't really have a last planting date for quite a while, so we're not too worried right today. Now here's something else that the market's starting to talk about is El Niño. He's back. It certainly appears that everything's lining up to be an El Niño year. And here's the really interesting aspect, is that yields tend to run 3 to 4 bushels an acre above the trend yield for both corn and soybeans in El Niño years. Wow. In corn, that puts us at about a 183 bushel per acre type yield. That'll help alleviate this really tight stock dislocation and quantities that we've got here in the U.S. So, lots of time to see how all this develops. But again, we should be off to a great start. Now, there's still a couple of other things to keep our eyes on, and that's the Russia-Ukraine Black Sea Agreement. Russia is continuing to push back. They don't want to extend it for 120 days. They want to do it 60 days. That's it. They're not happy. They feel like they're not getting fair treatment in this. And, unless they can have a more favorable treatment, Russia's not going to sign off on an extension. Now, what's interesting is that they pretty much control that Black Sea and the allowing of ships to get inspected and meet all the rules that are set up. So anyway, that's put the wheat market a little bit on edge. Now, something to think about, this is a long term, and long is a relative term, right? But this war, when it gets settled, and ultimately it will, we could see significant corn, wheat, soybean, canola, and sunflower production brought back into the marketplace. It's kind of amazing with the tonnage that's been taken out, the prices aren't actually higher than they are. So watch for peace. But this thing may go on. This thing can easily go for years. Hey, we were in Afghanistan for 20 years. Now, the other thing that may really be the one to watch is Taiwan and China. This could be really ugly. It seems that China is on the verge, weeks, from invading Taiwan. They view the U.S. as a very weak military out there, and they're thinking the time is right. There's been a lot of talk, a lot of military exercises going around there, so we need to watch that. And the funds. Okay, they kind of came out of their shorts getting long, particularly in corn, and that's stopped the free fall in the corn market. So lots of volatility to continue. Watch the headlines, watch the weather, and until next time, happy trading.